welcome back. We are in our final week of security this month. Again, my name is Derek Thompson, founder of TNT Creative Group. We are here with one of our clients and good friends, Tony Hayden of Sabre Networks. Thank you so much for coming out and visiting with us.
Thanks for having me, Derek. Glad to be here.
So please tell us more about Sabre Networks and what you guys do.
Well, Sabre Networks, we're a small managed service provider here in the Raleigh-Durham area. We provide IT services for mostly small businesses. I always like to tell folks that we're the IT department for a business that doesn't have an IT department.
Yeah, you guys do great work. From your video with the testimonials with Duke Athletics and some of those have some really good customers, and they speak very highly of you.
Yes,
so,
yeah. We have a very good relationship with our clients.
Yes. So why don't you tell us what some of the most common causes are for companies and their office network being hacked? What do you often see out there?
We see most underlying cause is just a lax attitude or a lack of understanding about security threats. We see folks just not taking the most basic of steps to protect themselves. And I'm often counseling people that IT security is kind of like home security, in that you don't have to be Fort Knox, but you also don't want to be the only house on the block that has no doors, right? Because that's where they're going to walk in, right? You want to slow them down a little bit, not be the easy target. And so to do that, you really only have to follow a handful of basic steps for securing yourself.
Oh, wow. Huh. So why don't you tell us a little more about what some of those basic steps are that companies can take to secure themselves much more than what they may be secure right now?
Well, one of the biggest threats right now is ransomware. And if for those of you who aren't familiar, ransomware is software that usually comes to you through a malicious link in an email that will encrypt your data, files on your drive, and hold you ransom. You have to pay a ransom of some indeterminate amount to get the decryption key to get access to your data. And it's very frustrating because all your data is still sitting right there. It's just rendered useless without that encryption key. And you have almost no chance of getting to that data again unless you have good backups, which is always important, or you pay the ransom and hope you get the decryption key from the bad guys.
Right.
And so the best defense against that one is to have good anti-spam filtering before it gets to your email box. That would include the spam filtering that included at least a couple of different antivirus engines, so that you have a couple of different sets of eyes looking at this information to maybe stop it. But even that won't stop everything, because ultimately what's coming into you is just a link. And that link is linking you to something that's malicious. These are called phishing emails, PHISHING, and they're just enticing you to click on a link, something that you think is legitimate, and then down comes the email or the file and decrypts all of your data. So good antivirus scripting, protections in the email before it comes in is the most important thing. The second most important thing is just being on the lookout and knowing what you're looking for and not clicking on these links if you are not 100% sure what it is. Yeah. If you're getting an email that says it's coming from your bank and it says click here to confirm your password or something, first of all, your bank won't do that. And secondly, go outside of your email, go to your bank's website directly yourself and go in that way. Don't use that link because it can look very convincing.
Yeah, they've gotten much better at making those emails pass.
Yeah, we used to laugh at those and wonder how anybody could fall from, because the English was so poor, and they just looked horrible and a very amateurish. Right. But now they are very good. So you have to be careful.
Yeah. Any other ways to protect yourself that come to mind?
There are several ways. Of course, you have to have good antivirus at the workstation level as well. We were talking about antivirus in the spam filter, yes. But at the workstation level, a web protection, web filtering to monitor any malicious sites you're going to, because once you click that link, you're out of your email, you're onto the web. A good web filter will realize, no, this is a malicious link, and will stop you from getting there. See, patch management, getting a little outside of ransomware here. Patch management is also often overlooked. people let their machines get way out of date with patches, and most patches are security related, and they're plugging holes. And so if you keep your machine patched, there are fewer holes through which the bad guys can come in through. And then there's, of course, firewalls, and there's filtering at the firewall level, and there's all kinds of things you can do, but none of these things I'm mentioning are particularly difficult, and they're not particularly expensive to implement. They're just the basics. You don't have to be a Fortune 500 company who's spending millions of dollars on security. You just have to be following the most basic of guidelines, and you will be safe most of the time.
Right. Yeah, great insight, especially with the security patches. I know oftentimes that's a pain. People don't want to, they're in the middle of something, they want to, don't want to stop what they're doing, but that's very important, or at least to make a note and do it by the end of the day, but not let that then go on to the next day and the next.
Yeah, it is a pain. Everybody says no, not now, and then it's often forgotten for weeks or months sometimes.
Yeah, so that's the big issue there. So what do you say to that company? Because I hear it even from the website or other sides of, well, hey, you know what? Nobody's worried about my company. No one's trying to hack me. What do you say to those companies?
Yeah, well, people are almost talking about two different things. They're thinking of sort of corporate espionage, and they're thinking, I'm just a little guy and nobody's looking for that. Well, maybe not, but these ransomware kings who are doing this, they're just looking for targets of opportunity.
Right.
They are going house to house on that street and looking for that unprotected property that they can get into. And so you don't have to be quote unquote somebody or a big company or an important person to get hacked. They're looking for a target of opportunity. They want to get at your personal data that they can resell. It can include credit card information. They could be looking to use your machine as a zombie in their little botnet so they can use it to attack other folks. So it doesn't have to be that you are the target. Very seldom is that the case, really. Yeah. It's usually just that they're throwing out a wide net and seeing what they catch. So it's not a matter of I'm not important enough, nobody's coming after me. It just if you're weak enough, they'll pick you off.
That's the key. That's the key. Well, tell us before you go here. Why don't you tell everybody about the assessment that you have? I think you have a complimentary assessment in some cases to assess a company's threat level, and then I believe that provides a dollar amount of if you were to be hacked, this is how much it would cost you. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Yes, we do have a free assessment that we offer all of our clients, and it's a full network assessment. It's not just security, but it also includes security. Oh, wow. It's totally free. We come in, we assess your entire network, even if it's just 2 machines. That's still a network. Mm-hmm. And we will tell you, we'll give you back a nice report and show you where we see discrepancies and where we see problems that should be addressed, that we think should be addressed. And what you're referring to there is for folks who are subject to HIPAA in medical practices, subject to HIPAA, or if they're taking credit cards and they're subject to PCI compliance. We can do a scan that not only will identify your failings there, but will assign that failing a dollar amount based on the prevailing judgments and penalties that have been handed out by the OCC, and give you an idea, hey, if you were to get a breach and they got all these credit card numbers, here's about what your fine would be. It could be $10,000, $20,000, or up, going up and up and up. So it tends to hit home a little bit. I realize that there's actually a benefit to tightening these things down a little bit. But like I said, that assessment is free. We come in, we show you all that information, you get a report, you walk away, and it's totally free.
Yeah, can't beat that. Well, we encourage you to definitely utilize that free assessment. There's maybe private data that you don't know is sitting on your network, so it's very important to have that taken care of and understand exactly where you stand from a security standpoint. And I recently read that 60% of small businesses that have a security breach end up shutting down within 6 months of that. So you could save your company by simply understanding where you are. You can get that assessment at sabrenetworks.com. Go there, go ahead and sign up for that, and you'll be happy you did it. So we are signing off for this week. this concludes our month of security awareness. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining us. A pleasure having you. I'm sure you'll be back again to enlighten us some more. Until then, stay tuned next month as we go into our corporate citizenship. We, as TNT Creative Group, do a lot in the community, and we're going to share some of those tips with you to help you and your company get more involved. Derek Thompson, Tony Hayden, we'll see you next time. Thank you.